Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am incredibly excited about this one, honestly, because we are tackling what is easily one of the most debated topics on the internet right now. Today, we're ranking the highest paying faceless YouTube niches, and we're doing it using real, verified 2026 data. So if you're looking to build a sustainable, scalable channel without ever having to step in front of a camera, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're cutting through all the noise today, looking strictly at the numbers to see where the real money is flowing this year. Let's get into it. But right before we get to the actual rankings, we have to start with a question that trips up almost every single new creator. Do millions of views automatically equal millions of dollars? Because, we've all seen those screenshots of viral faceless channels pulling in astronomical traffic. The natural assumption is that those creators are just swimming in cash, right? We kind of just assume that going viral is the ultimate financial finish line. Well, I want to show you exactly why that widespread myth can actually ruin your channel before you even hit publish on your first video. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to take a look at this incredibly jarring reality check. This is from a real 2026 report by a creator who amassed a staggering 42 million views using AI-generated short-form content. And the amount they actually took home from the platform's monetization program, exactly $626. No, that is not a typo. 42 million views, and they walked away with literal pennies. It's just the perfect example of why treating all views as equal is a massive, massive strategic mistake. So how does this actually happen? And more importantly, how do you make sure it doesn't happen to you? So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll do an RPM reality check. Second, we'll reveal the 2026 tier list of top faceless niches. Third, we'll cover why RPM varies so wildly. Fourth, we'll settle the shorts versus long-form debate. And finally, choosing your profitable niche. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the RPM reality check, or why views don't always pay the bills. Look, if you don't understand the underlying mechanics of how these platforms actually pay creators, honestly, the rest of the data won't do you any good. The entire creator economy essentially runs on two distinct acronyms, and you really must know the difference. CPM, or cost per mil, is simply a measure of advertiser demand. It's what brands pay the platform for 1,000 ad impressions. But RPM, revenue per mil, that's your bottom line metric. That is what you actually take home per 1,000 views, after the platform takes its cut, which for standard YouTube long-form content is 45%. So you can have a sky-high CPM, but your RPM is the money that actually hits your bank account at the end of the month. And that brings us right back to our creator who made just $626 on 42 million views. Why did that happen? One word, geography. The absolute biggest lever for your RPM is where your audience actually lives. A Tier 1 audience, so viewers in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, commands a massive premium purely because advertisers spend more there. Our creator had a largely Tier 3 audience, meaning roughly 90% of their views went essentially unmonetized by premium advertisers. The gap between Tier 1 and Tier 3 geographies is a brutal 5x to 15x drop in potential earnings. Moving right along to Section 2, Top Faceless Niches Ranked, the 2026 tier list. Now that we know we're optimizing for RPM and Tier 1 audiences, let's get to the main event. This is the real, verified 2026 data you've been waiting for, and this brilliantly illustrates the massive economic gap across the platform. Just look at the top tier. Personal finance and investing are taking home a staggering $8 to $45 per 1,000 views. Now compare that to the bottom tier. Gaming and general entertainment are sitting somewhere between $1 and $8. Think about that for a second. You're looking at two faceless creators doing the exact same amount of work, uploading the exact same number of videos, but one is making exponentially more simply because of the topic they decided to cover. To really put this into perspective, I want you to focus on this number, $65. In Q1 of 2026, this is the peak CPM ceiling we are seeing for the finance and investing niche. Literally, advertisers are willing to pay up to $65 just for 1,000 ad impressions in front of viewers who are looking for tax strategies, stock market analysis, or credit card comparisons. It's wild. This represents the absolute highest potential of the current ad market for a faceless channel right now. When you translate those rates into real-world effort, the math is just staggering. If you run a faceless gaming compilation channel with a $3 RPM, you have to grind out 333,000 views just to earn your first $1,000. But if you run a faceless credit card comparison channel operating at a $35 RPM, you only need 28,500 views to make that exact same $1,000. A small, highly targeted finance channel can easily out-earn a massive viral entertainment channel. It's the ultimate example of working smarter, not harder. That takes us to section 3, why RPM varies so much. Basically, follow the advertiser's money. So why on earth is the market willing to pay such drastically different rates? Well, it all comes down to viewer intent. Let's compare two different viewers. Our high-intent viewer is watching an animated faceless explainer comparing cashback credit cards. They are literally seconds away from applying for a financial product. An advertiser will aggressively bid $50 to $200 just to acquire that one single customer. On the flip side, our low-intent viewer is a teenager watching gaming clips. The advertiser bidding for that ad slot is likely selling a $2 mobile game. Lower customer value means lower bids, which translates directly to a lower RPM for you. To sum it up, your RPM is entirely dictated by 3 core pillars. Number 1, advertiser competition. Basically, how badly do brands want your specific audience? Number 2, viewer geography, which, as we've seen, can multiply your earnings 5 to 15 times over if they're in premium markets. And number 3, ad suitability. If you're doing a faceless true crime or horror channel, advertisers might restrict their placements just due to brand safety, and that artificially compresses your RPM, even if you have a highly engaged audience. All right, section 4, shorts versus long form, the 20 to 100x revenue gap. Now we really need to address the elephant in the room, because in 2026, the video format you choose is just as critical as the niche you select, and the revenue gap here is impossible to ignore. Just look at the average shorts RPM. It's hovering near 0, sitting around 5 cents per 1,000 views on average. Next to it, the long-form RPM towers all the way up to $35. Shorts pay 20 to 100 times less than long-form content. And why is that? Because shorts operate on a pooled revenue model, and they don't have mid-roll ads. Long-form videos, specifically those over 8 minutes long, unlock mid-roll ad placements, which effectively doubles your RPM opportunity right out of the gate. So here is the absolutely crucial strategic takeaway for your faceless channel. Shorts are a discovery engine, not a revenue source. You should absolutely be using short-form content to capture subscribers and drive traffic. It's great for that. But if you actually want to make a sustainable living, you need to rely on 8-minute-plus long-form videos to drive the real revenue. Please do not let viral short-form view counts deceive you into thinking you've built a profitable business. Which brings us to our final part, section 5, choosing your profitable niche. Because it's not just about the highest number. So how do you actually apply all this data we just talked about? I know the instinct is to just jump straight into the $45 RPM credit card niche, but honestly, that might actually be a terrible idea for you. So the crucial point is this. You have to balance 3 pillars. First up is competition tolerance. High RPM naturally means high competition. Second, and arguably most importantly, is content sustainability. A moderate $9 RPM niche, like educational explainers or history, that you actually enjoy and can stick with for a year, that will always beat a $35 RPM finance niche that you abandon out of pure boredom after 2 weeks. Finally, look at monetization beyond ads. Niches like tech or software might only have mid-tier RPMs, but their affiliate marketing potential can pay you literally 100 times more than the ad revenue alone. And you know, the really beautiful thing about building in 2026 is that once you choose that perfect niche, the production loop is entirely universal. It is a simple, automated 4-step process. 1, you draft your script using tools like ChatGPT or Claude, injecting your own unique angle. 2, you generate a high-quality AI voiceover. 3, you assemble your visuals using stock clips, data visualizations, or AI imagery. And 4, you publish. This exact same loop works whether you're making a 3 RPM gaming video or a 35 RPM real estate breakdown. The effort on your end is identical. It's only the payout that changes. We've covered the harsh reality of the metrics, the sheer earning power of Tier 1 long-form content, and the actual economics of the 2026 landscape. The data is laid out right in front of you, and honestly, the tools to build these channels have never been more accessible than they are today. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Armed with these numbers, which faceless niche will you dominate in 2026? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to see what you build. See you next time.